Hi everybody, John Paul Curtin here from QVScriptor, and together with me here is Jason Coggan, or JC. Just wanted to check that everybody can hear me fine. If you can just put it in the chat. So without further ado, we'll start with the presentation quickly first, just to run you through the total overview. Then we'll look at the benefits that QVScriptor 2013 has for QlikView partners, and we'll do a demo, and then we'll have a review of the partnership model and look at some next steps for becoming a partner. And then I'll open the lines so we can we can discuss openly using the voice instead of the chat. If you have any questions in between, please just tell us to stop, or just type your questions in. We'll revert back to them. JC is monitoring the chat box, so feel free to ask any questions. We'll address those. We're also recording the session, so it can be picked up and shared by tomorrow. So just a quick introduction. QVScriptor is the company that produces the QVScriptor product. We have a footprint in Hong Kong, Switzerland, and South Africa, and we are a third-party QlikView application development company, and we provide the best-in-class QlikView application development solution, as we provide a different approach to QlikView application development, coming from schema to script. So I think that will become more clear as we show the demo. And we enable QlikView self-service application development. And our product is QVScriptor, and the latest version is the 2013 version. So if we look at the partner benefits, we need to look at the kind of general challenges that we face in the QlikView business, where you have many QlikView developers, delivering different quality scripts. So if you put 3 QlikView developers in line and you give them the same specification, you generally end up with 3 different scripts. So the product definitely aims to standardize your script, and the script quality coming out of the product is excellent. So it's difficult to maintain standardization. That ties in with the script and standardized script quality, standardized method of developing script, and so forth. You generally end up with a lot of QVWs that you need to manage, and if you are using QVDs within your data architecture, those can be thousands. You have a lot of replication, recreation. It's difficult to reuse script within the single client environment. And then, of course, the data lineage becomes an issue within most environments. You only pick it up afterwards when you are doing your governance using the QlikView governance model. Limited data standards and control. I think we'll be touching on that, especially the control side with the centralized repository today. And then difficult to manage QlikView development environments. So, I'm sure you all know your development QA pre-product environments and publication to those, or deployments to those. And we don't, unfortunately, business people or self-service business people, they can't script QlikView scripts, so it's not possible at the moment to give a business person a QlikView client and to say, go and develop an application for me. So the positioning of 2013, if we look at the strategic development focus of the new version, the positioning was to enable self-service QlikView application development. And the reasoning for this was that we wanted to develop a product where we can manage QlikView on an enterprise level. And I've had an excellent week. I will say I've met with partners, I've met with existing customers, I've met with prospect customers and prospect partners, and these are some quotes that I brought out of those meetings, based on what we have shown them that 2013 can do. So one prospective partner said that traditional vendors provide this capability, and we have lost QlikView business because it was not possible before QVScriptor 2013. So meaning everything is central, it is your centralized development environment. Then from a new QVScriptor prospect customer who is an existing QlikView customer, this is what we need to manage QlikView in our business. So meaning they have felt the pain and they see how they can centralize and maintain their QlikView business internally. And one of our more mature customers has said that now we can start planning for QlikView self-service. So they definitely did see the light in terms of enabling business to develop applications. The reason for this is because 2013 provides a controlled, centralized development environment where all your source connections are centralized and controlled. All your project assets are centralized, your scripts, your transformations, your variables, etc. Application development and generation is centralized. Version management, so you're doing version management automatically, or the application is doing the version management automatically when you are developing your script, when you are checking it into the repository, and when you are deploying it. So you're always certain that you are working with the latest version of a script or an application. And then we really put good focus on the deployment, of your applications and the deployment management of applications, generators, QVDs, and other files. So one of our prospect partners said that this is absolutely fantastic because now they can, within a project and the project hierarchy, file structure, they can actually bring their project schedules, their scope of work, their specifications, and they can manage that within the client at the same time that they are rolling out the project for the customer. So it's a really great method of managing a holistic project for a customer. So what we have done is we have the central sources, we have a central development environment and a central deployment environment. So if you look at your source level, so when you are using the Windows authentication, for instance, and you don't have access to the source in the client, also you won't see that source or be able to access that source. In the QlikView dev environment, so we are replacing the traditional dev folder where you would be publishing all your different applications that you are busy developing. We have heard some horror stories even this week where guys have misplaced their QVWs, they have lost them, and then of course in the QlikView environment it's so vibrant that the consultants and developers within the customer businesses are coming and going all the time. So guys have been leaving the company, their computers have been wiped, and all that work is gone. So Scriptor takes care of those type of issues that you run into. So you can use the client to develop locally on local files, or you can use the Windows Communication Foundation, which is connecting to the repository through the Windows service, and you can use the synchronized environment where you have multiple developers developing across the various projects that you have simultaneously, and your repository is running on a Microsoft SQL database. And then you have the deployment environment where Scriptor will automatically deploy behind your access point folder. So it's very easy to kind of point the server or publisher to that environment. And what it will do additionally is schedule all your deploy all your applications behind a folder that relates back to your project. So then also from the deployment, so you have your QA, your pre-prod, production, you can set those up as you want, and then you are managing all your QVWs, your generators, and your QVDs. So when we look at the overall benefits, it replaces your traditional dev environment. So everything is centralized now, and all the script is centralized. So you're never losing anything. It's always updated, and the versions are controlled. So you have centralized administration, you have centralized project development, centralized application generation, and centralized application deployment. Improve the QlikView quality from that side. You have multiple. The product has multiple or 2 syntax validation levels. Supports all the QlikView ETL functions and operators through the expression editor, and then supports all the QlikView script objects, so your inline loads, your residents, your auto generates, and those sort of things. And it's completely wizard driven, and you can reuse your scripts across multiple projects or reuse your assets across multiple projects. From a deployment point of view, it's automatic versioning. I think that has already raised a lot of yeehaws for us. It's been well received. And then it's managed deployment folders where all your projects are sitting. You have managed deployment targets where all your applications are sitting in your QA prod environments, and then project and deployment target specific assets are contained in one place. So you can look at your QA environment and see all the applications that have been deployed, all the generators, all your files, everything in one place. So we'll move over to the demo next. I'll just say it now while it's refreshing from your side. We have been developing a lot of video clips, so please visit our site. And there's a main navigation called videos, and you can basically review all the videos from there. And we'll also publish this webinar there afterwards. So what we have in the demo, what we have already set up is we connected to the WCF component, so we connected to our server, and running QVScriptor as a service on our server. We've set up some users, so we have JC as a user, and I'm logged in as the administrator. We have some deployment targets, which is your production, your QA, and your self-service. At the moment, they're pointing to my local folder, so it's on my C drive, but of course you set those up according to your standards in your own environment. And then we have set up some deployment folders, and these are generally, these are project based, so when you create a project, it will prompt you to put the project into a deployment folder. So, if you're doing CRM or finance or sales and marketing type projects, or, we have the open webinar one that we created for this, and you can keep on creating both deployment targets and deployment folders as you want, just by hitting the append button over here. So we'll exit. Maybe I go back to the users. Just to say that at the moment, if you look at a user, you can import your users using AD as well as to your groups. You can see what members of which groups those users are, and there is a security tab there. We have already developed the lower level security. It's just that we didn't have enough time to test it properly before the 2013 release, so it's parked, and we should be releasing a update within, I would say, a month, probably earlier. So we are connected to the WCF component, so JC will do some work as well while I'm building my my schema. Just to show you the new layout of Scriptor 2013 is that all your assets on the left hand side. You have your schema as before, but instead of having one project at a time, you can run multiple projects at one time, and of course multiple users developing projects simultaneously. You still have your tables selection over here. So what we have done is we've set up using the connection wizard. We've set up two connections. One is to the Northwind Light SQLite database, and we have set up a QVD SS self-service folder, which is pointing to my local folders and under the open webinar. So I can save that, and what we can do is look at the properties of our project. So we have an open webinar project, and you can see here it's going to the deployment folder, open webinar. So these are the folders that I've previously set up. So that's basically what we have. We have also then created a schema, and we have no scripts, no applications, no generators. So all the files are empty at the moment, and then we have our deployment targets that we have set up as shown before. So we have our production, quality assurance, and self-service deployment environments ready. So what we'll do in this demo is let's connect to the SQLite database, and the from schema to script basically becomes relevant now because when in Scriptor first you create your schema. So I can bring in some tables from my database. And you can see that Scriptor will automatically join the tables when you have exactly the same name of fields across your tables. So we'll still bring in the suppliers. Let's get those. Okay, for some reason categories is not linking. JSON informs that we have lost connection to the database for some reason. Sorry, I'm just gonna quit it. We've done this 100 times, and of course when you're having a webinar it will happen. So categories is the problem. We'll just try it again and see if categories is still creating a problem for us, but hopefully we're connected back to the database now. So, but I still need suppliers. Suppliers, products. So apologies for the delay. It seems that we're back to business. So as you can see, while I'm dragging in the different tables, Scriptor will automatically connect, make any joins possible. So what I'll do is I don't need these connectors to customers, so I'll just delete those, and then between order details and products, I don't need the unit price, so I'll just delete that one, and then I have my categories linked to my products. So there I've created a schema, and Scriptor has already created the script for me behind the scene. So I'll just open up my folder view here so you can see as JC develops, there's project 2 there now. And he's changed the name to HR. So he's created another project. He's created a schema and called it employees. And then from the same database, he's then brought in the employees table. So this table is actually now using in his project and his schema. So if I go and open his schema, I can see the employees there. And what I can do, or what JC can do, is now edit the script. So from the edit script, I can construct my script over here. I can see the resulting tables. I can see my QlikView script that will be rendered. But what we'll do right now is to just left join the employee territories table to employees. So it's all wizard driven. So from here I can pick up the load prefix. I can pull in my left join to that load prefix. I can then click on the triple dot and it will give me the instruction that I want to do. So I could type it directly into here, but in order to show the expression editor, I'll just show that. So what we meant with centralized, so all my scripts have been centralized for me. So from my expression editor, I can now start reusing tables and fields as I need, but I have all the QlikView functions over here and all the operators also listed under here. And when you tab over, you get a great example and description of those. So what we'll do is we'll just join it to employees. Okay, and okay. It'll pop up and open QlikView because it needs to compile the, and I did exactly the same as yesterday. So I did the same yesterday. In all honesty, although we just tested this, so I think it's got something to do with us being online. I'm not lying to you. But if you look at the script, then it's still there. For some reason, it's giving that error. We have not figured out why, because it's only when we are doing this online. So here you can see that it's still joining, so the script is still going to QlikView, but it's giving us that error from a script object. So we actually can't see the new field over here, but it's fine. It's still going to be in our final script. So what I can do now is continue on my project. So if I go back to my schema from here now, that's in a different project. So what I can do now is drag the script that JC has created in his schema into mine. So I'm reusing the employees table, and when I open up the scripts from my side, I can see here that the employees, it's coming from HR project. So it will always tell you that this is a reuse script element. So and it will put which project you actually took that table from. So what we can do next is to generate an application. So there's what we are kind of saying is best practice is to create a massive schema or massive schemas around different data sources, and then to break those down into sub schemas within the different projects or within same projects, and then to generate your applications from those sub schemas. That is when you're having a lot of application business, just to contain your applications better or to maintain them better. But for this, we'll just use multi-select some tables, and from here I can create a QlikView app. We'll just call it finance demo app. And what the scripter has done now is it's opened up and created an application schema for me from my selected objects. You can see here it's already created the application script for me, but I haven't actually generated that app yet. So you can see here the application script name is what I gave it, and you can see the final QVW name will be the same. You can generate your include files from here if you wanted to do so, or you can generate variables to a separate file if you were using variables here. You can also change the order of your output if you wanted to. we'll go to the generated files next, but from here I can now click. It will open up QlikView. I'll leave that open for now. It will tell me that one application script has been refreshed, and when I go to my generated files here, I can see that what it's done is it's checked that it's generated that application and checked it out of the checked it out for me. So it's not existing in the repository yet because I haven't checked it in. So you will see here that my script version and my repository version are different because I haven't pushed it into the repository as yet. I've only generated the application. So if I open up that app over here, I can just have a look at my script. So here's the script that QVScriptor has generated for me. Here's my customer table, my order table, my employees, including my left joint, and then my order details table is there. And what I can do now is to reload that application, and I'll just create a table box quickly and put all of those in there. So what I can do now is I can already start designing some views, create some objects, create some views on my application, or I can just leave it as it was. So I didn't need to create any views as yet. I can first check it in and deploy it to quality assurance type environment or pre-quality assurance, where another user can then check it out and create views on the app and check it back in, and then deploy it further. So, but let's save it now. I can close QlikView, and what I can do is now check in. I can right click on the application line and check it into the repository. It'll compile in QlikView again, and it'll give me my feedback, which is that it has been checked in successfully. So now that application is actually checked into my repository, so you can see that the script version and my target version is the same, and it's automatically turned it into 2 because, well, it's now the second version of the application script residing. So what I can do is I can now deploy this application, but maybe first I want to create some QVD generators for the app. So what I can do is, let's take our customers table. I'll go to the resulting script, resulting tables tab. And from here now I can say that I want to generate a QVD generator. So it'll pop up, and this is your centralized generator list. So all your generators will reflect over here, and I can create a new empty file. It'll automatically give it the same name as my my script. So I can hit the OK. And then what I wanted to do is to instruct it to also generate the QVD for me, and again create a new empty file. And this is automatically ticked, so it will generate the drop table after the QVD has been generated for me. So from here I can then go OK, and you can see from the schema that it still shows that it's coming from, it's a database table, but there's a cog in the icon now, so you can see that it's a generator. And if you come to your generator apps, you can see my customer generator is already now over there. So what I can do now is, let's do the same for the orders table. Sorry. Yes, there is a compare capability. Maybe we can show it quickly. So if you go to your options tab and your external applications, you can then use WinMerge or whichever application you have to compare your scripts for you. Source control. Can I see all previous version of application in source control? Source control. Yes. On the previous question, seeing all the versions of the application, yes, there's a full history. I'll show you when we have now generated an app, so I can have a look. Well, we haven't deployed it yet, but there's a full history. I can show it a little bit later. So per your deployments and per your applications. So what I'll do is just to create from the orders very quickly. I'll create the excuse me, the orders generator and the orders QVD, and I'll say OK. Maybe just before I move on, I wanted to show one more thing before I generate the generators and so on. When you are creating script, and especially on the ETL, we have what we call snippets. So if I bring an ETL script in, and from the script editor, I can build my whole ETL over here, and then what I can do is create a snippet from that. So meaning I can start using that as standard ETL across my organization. In this case, what we'll do is just go to the library, take the snippet, and take the calendar snippet that is there, and from here you can then change your parameters. Insert, and you can see it's a snippet, so it's all your ETL is already existing over there. So I can OK that. It'll compile it into QlikView and give us the same error. That's so strange. But in any case, there is my script object over there. And what I can do now is maybe link it to my order date. So I can take a connector and take my calendar date and link it to my order date, and the script has been created for me. I just wanted to point out the snippets is a great way of maintaining centralized scripts. So if you have like a calendar that you want to use across all your projects, that would be a great way of doing it. So let's go back to my my application. I just want to show while we are there, since the scripts are instance, you can see now that on my data schema I also have the same cogs, meaning that it shows me that these are actually QVD generators as well. So what I can do now is go to my QVD generators, and from here I can edit my generators as I want. I can see I have those two, customers and orders, and I can see what the generator name is, what the QVD name is. If I wanted to do some incremental reloads, I can do it from here. And just to note that we also support the Oracle database environment when it comes to reloads, so it'll automatically conform those dates or transform those dates for you to what QlikView can understand. But it's really great. You can also do custom reloads directly from here. We won't do that now, but what I can now do is select both my generators, and what I can say is that I want not only to generate the QVD generators, I also want to generate the QVDs themselves at the same time. And what I want the application to do is also to check in. So what it will do is generate those and check it into the repository. So if I wanted to edit it afterwards, I would need to check it out first again. So from here I can now go ahead and generate my generators. Again, it will open QlikView twice because there are two generators. So, and it will give me the feedback that my QVD generators and two QVD files have been generated. And you can see here that they are now both generated. So when I click on the two, it will change between them. So what we can do next is to generate the. So I'll first generate my application so that I can refresh the generators and the QVD. So you can see here that my view is still there in QlikView, and one application script has been refreshed. It's checked out, so I can check it back in. And what I can do now is to deploy my my application. So I right-click the application and deploy it to a target. And from here now I have my list of targets. I can deploy an application to multiple targets at any time, but we'll just put the application, the demo app, into the QA for now, and ready for QA as a note to that one, and OK. It will give me the response back, physical deployed, that it's moved that application into the deployment folder for me. I click OK, and now when I look at my deployment target, I can see that the versions that I have between my script, my repository, and my deployment target are the same. So if somebody else checks it out and develops the script further, my version will still show 3. When they check it in, the version will turn to 4. And what I can do with the application once it's approved is just to get the latest version. So you can always keep your applications on the latest version of your apps. So what I can do is to go to my generators, click them both, and deploy them to target. And what I'll do is I'll put them in my self-service environment, because what I want to do is to just show what I can do with those now. So I've deployed my 2 generators and my QVDs to my self-service deployment target. So if I go here where everything is centralized now, and I look at my my QA environment, I can see my application is over there, and it's automatically put it to writable. So you can actually now point server there and load data into the application, or reload the data into the application. If I go to my self-service environment and I look at my QVD generators, you can see they are writable, which means that they can be reloaded, and I can see which means that the generators can then reload my QVDs. And what I'll do next is to just show the self-service very quickly. So if I go into my open webinar and I create a new project over there, we'll just call it SSBI. I want to publish this one into open webinars as well. I can create a schema, which I'll call my QVD schema. So now I'm working on the data schema. And then, because I have already set up a connection to a folder, which is my QVDs folder, I can now find those QVDs that I have published under that location. So if I can show that it's in my open webinars, it's QVD, it's in my folder structure under open webinars. So what I can do now is, as a self-service business user, I can start dragging those QVDs across, and start creating my own application. So in the same way, if I now have used all the QVDs that I want to use. If I have my own sources, I can start including my own or reuse some tables from a different project to create my own application. And then from here I can right click and create the app. And then generate the app and deploy the app myself. So that's very quickly what we just wanted to show before we exit the demo. I think we've covered enough. Have I forgotten something, Jess? No. I'll just show you here we are in the process of developing a governance model based on our repository. So this should be ready in a couple of weeks, and more than likely we'll start shipping this together with our service pack release. So we are busy creating a governance QlikView model where you can set it up to your own environment. You can see all your projects and your deployment environment and history over there. There was a question around the history, so I'll just very quickly show that now that I remember. If I go to my application and I look at an application, I can at any time go to the show history and it will show me all the history of the deployment environment. So you can see here deployment ID, deployment target, where it was published, the file, the status, which user deployed it, what were the comments, what's the deployment path, etc., etc., and your version. So if I went to change my my script now in my application, and I come to my applications, my script would be 4, my target would be 4 if I've checked it in. And what I can do from here is just get latest version, and it will update the latest version in my deployment target directly. So that's the end of the demo. And what we'll do is just quickly look at the partnership models that we have. All the way to the So the partnership models that we offer is a distributor partnership and a reseller partnership. The distributor, we expect quite a lot from them because they are distributors on a country level, and we expect some history of working with existing other QlikView partners, working together with them and having the necessary resources in place to actually make the business successful. And then resellers, it's much easier business, but we are always here to support both resellers as well as distributors, especially in a country where we don't have distributors in place yet. The margins that we offer to partners or distributors, we are offering software discount of 45%, annual maintenance and support discount of 40%, and then on the resellers it's a 35 and 30% discount. So if you are interested in partnering with us, I truly hope you are. We are aggressively looking to build our reseller channel. Especially now that 2013 is in the market. So we have a application form. Well, it's more an information form, just so that we have some information. We can investigate your company a little bit on our website. So if you go to our website actually and you go to partners, there's the application form. If you can just fill that in, and we'll follow up with the necessary online sessions and discussions around the partnership. But the next steps would be to sign an NDA, agree a partnership model, sign the agreement. You will receive the access to all our collateral, and then we'll schedule some training for your consultants and license them. And or alternatively, you can also email us at partners@QVScriptor.com.
License costs.
So if you are interested in the license cost, please pop us an email. I'm happy to show it as well. So if you bear with me, I can pick it up. So we provide a euro-based license cost, but we do update the exchange rate between the dollars every 3 months. So we'll just look at the euro-based costing. So if you're looking for if you're buying them separate, you can buy the server, which is up to 10 cals. Separately, or it works the same as with QlikView. If you start with a small server, QV server, and then move to the enterprise, you only pay the difference in the cost. Test server if you need it. Then we have some license brackets. It starts with 500 euros per license, and then it goes down. So if you're going past the 51 user level, and this is quite common in a self-service business, so I think it's going to be really good revenue. And then we have some packages for users, so you can buy a small server with a cal for 4,000. You can buy a small server with 5 cals for 6,000, small server with 10 cals for 8,500, enterprise with 12 cals for 11. Enterprise with 20, and so forth. So we've already had some good discussions with the existing partners, and they are very happy with the pricing and looking at the value that the product is bringing. So I'm happy to open up the discussion line now. If you just bear with me. Standard. So your small QV server is up to 10 cals. You can have up to 10 self-service users in there. If you go above 10, then you need to switch to the enterprise.
The conference is now in conversation mode.
Put the conversation on, so feel free to ask your questions directly if you have any.
Hi, this is Ajay here.
Hi AJ.
Yeah, I have a question. I posted on the chat window. Dragging and dropping the tables in the database schema, and we are establishing it. So, how will we expect it is going to be a resident loads?
Yeah, so resident loads are part of the script objects, AJ. So I'll show you if you can still see the screen. Yes. So we support all the QlikView script objects. So if I go to one of my schemas, yeah, it just needs to refresh. I see it's a bit slow. Yeah, I didn't show the script objects enough. So AJ, is it refreshed from your side? So you can see here, if I wanted to do a resident load, I would just select the script object. So we have the ETL script. So if you want to build ETL from scratch, if you have separate databases that you want to connect to and just bring some tables through for ODBCs. We have the Excel. If you want to bring some custom QlikView script in, there's the wizard for that. We have inline, resident, QVD loads, QVX load, delimited file, and auto generate. So what I would do is to drag in the resident load, and from here the wizard will take me through the process of getting my resident load in there. If you look at our videos, there is a video around a resident load as well. I think it should be like video 4 or 5 around there.
Script objects.
Script objects.
Use custom.
100%.
One more thing. Can I have a binary?
Yes.
That is, can I do the binary QlikView over here so that I get the exact data model?
Just close that.
Yes, it can. So
Application scripts.
in your application scripts, if I go to my QVD.exe, I have a binary file option over here, so I can just click. What I do is I load that QVW into my repository, just importing it. That's another great thing that I didn't really show, but if you look at video 14, you will, or 13, you can see how you can take existing QVWs and manage the deployment of those as well. So they don't need to be created in Scriptor, but you can still manage the deployment of them. So you would just import it into the repository, and then from here you can pick up the binary file.
Thank you.
You're welcome, AJ. Thanks for the questions. How can I use custom connector in QVScriptor? Yeah, so we have discussed already an OEM with two of the very really great connector companies out there. It is on our product development roadmap. We have already gone a long distance into developing a SAP connector. So what would happen is you'd set up a connector and it will open up your SAP connector. Your QlikView SAP connector, but we are in discussions with two other really great companies to do an OEM. We've already done very quick testing. It's just that we needed to prioritize our developers for 2013 release. It's something we will be discussing next week as part of our service pack strategy and our roadmap. So yes, there will be capability, integrated OEMs for custom connectors. We are not going to develop those ourselves. I think there are already great companies out there that are doing it. It's really, that is a question for our CTO for sure. But I've sat around the table, and when we were doing like very, very quick testing with one of the future OEM partners to create an app and to connect it to that source code. It looked fairly easy and quick. I would say yes, it depends on what the business model would be from my side, and whether we can do it as an open feature, so meaning that you can easily connect to any type of custom connector. So it's definitely something I think we'll jot it down as part of and we'll bring it up as part of our discussions next week. Viewer 17, if you could provide us, just pop us an email to either support or, support would be better. If you pop us an email to support@QVScriptor.com with your contact information, then I can revert back to you after our session next week. Any other questions? Have we covered all the questions, Jess?
Yes, yeah.
Are there any outstanding questions that we have not answered either through the chat or through this discussion? Downloading the webinar, yes, we'll be publishing the webinar to our video content. It'll be under a new tab called webinars, so you can pick it up from there, certainly. Yesterday's one, we're having a challenge because we recorded it. If you recall, thanks for joining both in any case. But if you recall, we were having some problems in the beginning with the sound, and it didn't work. I needed to talk to a different machine, and what we had to end up doing is to use this services recording. So it's not that great. It's going to be a challenge at the moment. We're using a different application to record. We're not using the service. I'm happy to publish it, but it's really not that great.
It was the same.
But yes, you can find it under the same webinars folder. So I think we're busy losing participants. So if you have any questions, please support@QVScriptor.com for any support issues. If you are using the trial version, and please contact us if you're interested in a partner. partnership, please contact us at partners@QVScriptor.com, or just going to the website and filling in the application, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. So thanks a lot for staying on. I apologize for going over time, but the questions have been really great, and yeah, we really look forward to working with you. You're welcome.